What's up, everybody? WWE Guy here, back again with some WWE 2K16, and this is my hands-on gameplay impressions, whatever you want to call it, from when I went out to the WWE 2K16 press event and actually got to play the game with CM Pulse, with Smack Talks, with Dank Ops, with Tubby, with Nodis Fan, with Luigi. I got to play with them all, and we got to play some WWE 2K16, and I'm going to tell you what is good and no BS in this game, and tell you what I like, what I dislike, all that fun stuff. So let's get right into it. So I will say right off the bat, WWE 2K16 expands on what the foundation for WWE games was making with WWE 2K15. First off, graphically, it looked great. I thought it looked stellar. There was an overhaul on the crowd, but it's not as good as it could be. I still thought the crowd looked a little bit blurry, but it was a step in the right direction. The entrances looked amazing. I think the new close technology is such a great thing, and I just think they move more realistically, although I did notice that there were a few clipping issues. Mostly in Cesaro's towel around his neck. It would kind of go inside of him, which is what clipping is if you know anything about clipping. But that was the only minor thing I noticed, is there's still those clipping issues, but it's way more realistic, and I just think it's great. So I was told by Mark Little and others from 2K that this was not the final build of the game. So we weren't actually playing the final build of the game, and the graphics will look even better than what I played on the demo, which is a very, very good sign. Is very awesome, because I was expecting the game to look like that, which looked great, and if it would have looked like that, I would have been fine with that, and that would have been awesome. So graphically, I think the game looked awesome. It's going to get even better, so that's pretty cool. So in the demo, we have three options. We have 2K Showcase, Singles Match, and Tag Match. So let's talk about 2K Showcase first. So 2K Showcase was the same concept as previous years, with focus on making it more true to life than ever before. It's, the real footage mixed with replaying matches in the game. And the one that I got to play was the Stone Cold Steve Austin King of the Ring moment. It was Stone Cold's King of the Ring moment where Austin 316 says, "I just whooped your ass," match, promo, and everything. It played awesome. And it even had a cool little replay of real footage that made it seem more authentic. I just forgot how good Jim Ross was on commentary by listening to him commentate this match. I just missed Jim Ross. It was just so much better than anything else. So I honestly will say, though, that I've never been a fan of 2K Showcase. If you're a fan of the series, you will love it. And one thing I will say is, even though I don't care for it, you can truly tell how much work they put into it. So, they put lots of time and effort into 2K Showcase, and it looks great and it plays great, but I'm just not a fan of it. The reason I don't really like it is because I've seen all these moments, I've seen the matches, and if it was me, honestly, I would just watch it on the network instead of replaying it in the game. But there are fans of the series, and it has to be a popular mode if they're going to remake it. So I think it's good if you like 2K Showcase. Now, let's get into the core of the game. With this demo, we had 11 superstars to play with. We had Bad News Barrett, Brock Lesnar, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor, Kalisto, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Sin Cara, Titus O'Neil, and Tyson Kidd. Now, that's a pretty vast amount of roster to play with, and there's a lot of different variations you could have there. So it's a cool roster to play the demo with. So the first thing you'll notice when you get into the game is the match starts up and it pans to the crowd a bit before you actually see the entrance. It's a subtle but nice touch. As the superstar makes his way to the ring, it will go to the second superstar, and instead of going to a load screen, it will actually pan to the crowd and to the commentators and makes it just flow very, very nice. Instead of going to that load screen, the spinny WWE logo, it'll actually just go to the commentators, and then you'll get your second entrance. So it's nice. Now I know what you're all asking. How is the Breakout Entrance feature? It is great. I was playing as Cesaro, and Pulse was playing as Titus O'Neil. And as Cesaro was walking down to the ring, Titus O'Neil did an early attack on me. Now the cool thing is, they will keep walking and doing their entrance moves until you run down and attack them. So it's pretty much up to you how they interrupt it and what point you're going to interrupt the entrance. As Cesaro was attacked, he actually got to keep all of his entrance attire on, which was really, really, really nice. But it wasn't perfect. The one problem is once you get into the ring, instead of like taking off the entrance attire, it just cuts to a close-up of the crowd's faces. Like it just like quick cuts to the crowd. And then the match starts and the entrance attire is off. So it's kind of weird that it just does that cut, but it's nice that they have this feature in the game. You know what I mean? So another thing that I will say, though, is that I can see that it could get old very, very fast. I don't see myself actually doing the breakout entrance too much, except maybe a few times playing universe mode, but that's about it. It might come in handy in my career as well, but I just don't, like, as an exhibition type, I usually skip entrances, and I just don't know that I'm going to do it all that much, but maybe I'll be proven wrong, and we'll see. I don't know. So I wasn't able to do a computer versus computer match as well to see if the computer would randomly do the breakout entrance. It would be kind of cool if they had some random number generator or something randomly where it wouldn't always do the breakout with the computer, but if you were watching a match, say you wanted to sim a pay-per-view match, like you want to sim Sting versus Seth Rollins, this is just an example, that maybe Seth Rollins would do it or maybe Sting, depending, you just don't know. But I never really got to test it out, so I don't really know. But it would be nice if they added that in. So if you didn't know, JBL, Michael Cole, and King are in commentary for exhibition matches. And once you get into the match, you will see that they build upon the game from last year. There's still much to explain as far as gameplay goes, and it's still basically the same core as last year. So, however, there are a few things that are new to this game. For instance, the pin system has changed. The pin system is now a wheel instead of the pin bar. And it's kind of difficult to get used to. But I'm sure that if I played it longer and had longer play stations, I could master it. But just playing it right off the bat, it was hard to get used to. And the pin bar doesn't always show up either. If you're critically damaged, it may not show up on the 1 count. Again, it's a hard thing to get used to, but it adds challenge to the game that wasn't there before. So if I'm critically damaged and they go for a pin, it might not show up till a 2 count, maybe not even till a 3, depending on how it goes. Like 1 and then it shows up, or 1, 2, then it shows up. But it just depends on how much you're damaged. And it really does add the thing where, like, I can't kick out. Because I felt like in the previous WWE games, you could kick out at anything. Once you learned how to do it, you could kick out all the time. But it seems like you're going to have to get used to when it shows up and how it works and all that. So that's just one of the challenges they've added in the game. One of the other big things they've added is the reversal system. You can no longer reverse every move. You have a limited amount of reversals that can be built back up over time. Now, I honestly thought that I would run out of reversals really, really fast, but it seemed very balanced, and you don't actually feel like the other guy has the advantage as much as I thought it would. I felt like I was going to go in and I was going to blow through all my reversals, and then the other guy was just going to take me to town, but it didn't actually seem like that. It felt like you could build them up relatively fast, and it felt fair. I mean, there was a point where Pulse was trying to reverse something, but he didn't have it, but he built it up right after that, so I was able to get like 1 or 2 moves in before he was able to build it back up. So it was a very fair thing. That's the thing. I was just worried that it was going to be too overpowered where you burn through them, but it didn't feel like that at all. So that was cool. So with those reversals, there's 2 types of reversals that sometimes show up, and that's the minor and major reversals. As you may have heard, minor reversals are easier to perform and only require a single reversal stock. Major reversals are more challenging. However, they have more damage to the opponent. So there it is. Major reversals weaken the opponent in various ways and provide a new way to swing the momentum to one's match favor. Now, I didn't get to dive very, 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 very deep into the game and only played it a handful of times, but I will say this. WWE 2K15 was a foundation for the years to come to build on a great simulation, realistic style gameplay. If you enjoyed last year's game even a little bit, you will love this. In my mind, they're taking the right steps to create the ultimate realistic WWE game for everyone to love. I still do think, however, that there needs to be some more arcadey, over-the-top type stuff in this game, or even a different game altogether. WWE All-Stars 2. We probably will never get that, but that's just my opinion. Now, that is what I thought of my play session with WWE 2K16. Like I said, overall, a huge improvement. WWE 2K15 was a foundation. We know that. The console came out. They had to adapt the game for the next gen. And 2K is working their damnedest to learn everything they can learn from Ukes so that they can improve the game that they want to do. So I'm thinking that WWE 2K16 is going to be awesome. It's going to be a game to play for a long, long time. The roster alone is going to make it huge. If you're a fan of 2K Showcase, you have that in the game. But overall, I'm thinking they're taking a right step in the right direction to make the perfect WWE realistic simulation style game. Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on all the stuff I talked about, what you're most excited to see, and what you want to know about things that may have not been announced. What are you looking forward to that isn't announced? What do you want to see as far as features go in the game? All that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, because I'll be having lots of WWE 2K16 coming up when the game drops. So you got to stay tuned for more. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Subscribe. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. As always, Tony Pizza Guy, frag out.